Connie Henry. I'm originally from Boggy Creek, Manitoba, and I live in San Clara now. I'm the 11th of 12 kids, so I'm Henry the 11th. I am. My parents came from Belcourt. My mom came from Belcourt. My dad came from Dunseith, so they were born there, but I was born in Canada.
My name is Gordon Paul, and I'm from San Clara, Manitoba.
Well, we've been married since 2012, so...
We've both been married prior to our
second marriage.
second marriage.
Yes.
And it's nothing but good times.
Nothing but good times.
Yeah.
Well, I have two from previous marriage, I have two boys.
And I have two from my previous marriage, a daughter and a son.
Well, my son, Darcy, is in Roblin, and my son, Dallas, lives in Edmonton.
My daughter, Michelle, she's now Michelle Neepen. She lives in Winnipeg. And my son is Brad Paul. He lives in Roblin.
And any grandkids?
I have one.
I have...
You got two, so we have three
two
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, all together.
What's your favorite Métis meal?
Well, mine's bannock for sure, right?
Favorite Métis
bannock
meal.
and stew. I like stew. A dessert, a little bit of rice pudding.
And my favorite Métis meal is probably bannock and meatballs made from moose meat. I just love that. Another favorite is a rababou made from rabbit, boiled rabbit. They make soup out of that juice. That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when you boil it, once you take the rabbit out, you kind of keep boiling. You drop in some flour in there and salt, a little more pepper, I guess. And there's no more rabbits, so I can't eat that anymore. I started trapping probably when I was about 10 years old. It was a blizzard day, it was snowing, and my dad gave me a couple of traps to take out, leg holds. And he said, you can't go today, it's snowing, wait till it quits. I said, no, I gotta go. My mind was made up. I took off, and there was a pile of stuff that the cat had worked with. It was probably half a mile, 3/4 of a mile from where I lived. I walked around these big piles, and I seen a little hole where some tracks, but they were all covered in snow. I put a trap there, and I went back a couple of days, had a big weasel. That was my beginning of my trapping. I was trapping weasels all the time for a couple of winters, and finally caught a mink by mistake, and I forgot about the weasels and went straight mink trapping. More money. When I was 25 years old, I snuck into 5 different trap lines in the weekends, and I'd walk at night. I was putting mink traps all over the place. And I was working in the bush, and I was chainsaw and all that. I worked for 2 weeks, and I checked my traps at night. I'd walk till maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, checking my traps. I'd done that for 2 weeks, and I sold my fur. My fur check was twice the size my logging check was. At that time, I was getting $100 a mink. And sometimes I come home with 3 mink one night. I couldn't do that today, work in the bush all day and walk all night after.
You don't have that vinegar, they would say?
I don't have the vinegar anymore. I was 25 years old when I done that. I like to go out there, yeah, but I didn't trap this winter because the price gas is so high and the price of fur is so low. I'd be going in holes, so I just lingered around the house. Oh yeah, I got big intentions of going back, yeah. Because I got a registered trap line in the ducks right now.
I bead, some beading. I make sashes.
Yeah, made that herself.
President asked me to make sashes, and he said he'd buy all the ones I made, so I'm making sashes. I just took some actually down the street.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I'm a musician, so I sing. The Tequila Creek Band, a garden. Music's been part of my life since I was in my early 20s. I moved to Vancouver, and that's when I started playing in a band. Played there for a few years. I moved back to Winnipeg, played more there. I was on the road for a couple of years, to Thunder Bay and up north to Thompson and like Prince Albert, stuff like that. I've been still doing it to this day, actually.
And you love it?
I love it, yeah. It's a hobby, but it's a paid hobby, which is good. I was teaching square dancing when I was, I taught square dancing in San Clara for a bit. And then I was teaching it in Roblin. And also I was square dancing with the Winnipeg Infinity Dancers, Rainy Zastry's group. I danced with them for a while. Taught fiddle lessons in San Clara and at home. I like teaching it. It's interesting. Some kids are, moving around a little bit when they're playing, and some just so concentrating so much.
When did you realize you were Métis? When was that realization?
I was pretty old, actually. I always thought I was French Canadian, is what I thought.
Yeah, that's what we used to call ourselves, French Canadian
Yeah.
at school and stuff. What's your
Yeah.
nationality? You were French Canadian.
Yeah.
Didn't know there was such a thing as Métis at that time. Nobody told me.
I think I was probably in my 20s, 30s by the time I actually found out I was Métis.
I was probably a little younger than that when I realized I was Métis, but yeah.
No, I was French Canadian.
And the more I got to know about the Métis, the more proud I got to be about being a Métis. Well, I think lots had to do with their ashamed to say they were Métis, and they put French in there to help it out. I don't know. That's the only reason I can think of. People disrespecting the Métis. You know, you get the white man, all this prejudice. That was kind of tough facing sometimes. But now we're doing our purpose. There's a few Métis that get together at the Chicken Chef in Roblin, and we talk Mitchif to be at hell, and then a white man walks in and he comes sit at us. We don't care. We keep on talking Mitchif. We do it on purpose.
You're getting over all these residential school stuff, you know.
Yeah, she took that hard.
That's a big thing for me because I'm Catholic also, and it was hard for me to hear all that, what they were doing, and it wasn't easy at all. And you putting your faith into something, and that happening, it kind of,
Right.
kind of took you back,
Yeah, you quit going to church for over a year because of that, eh?
I couldn't. I just couldn't even go to church. I just couldn't do it. But they say that forgiveness, right? Got to do the forgiveness stuff. So I've been going back. It's hard, still hard, but I'm going back to deal with it.
Yeah, we used to hunt a lot of like partridge and stuff like that. We used to spend lots of time in the bush.
Oh, our garden was huge when I lived on the farm because, like say, there's quite a few of us. And my dad would get the tractor and he'd go, I guess, with a plow or whatever it is, and make the rows for us. Then we plant all potatoes and we'd have to cover them all up, long rows. And, well, the normal stuff, carrots and cucumbers, stuff you had to put away for the winter. And beans, like mustard beans. I love mustard bean pickles. We made those. Dills, stuff like that. And me and my mother would go up and pick berries too. We'd go a lot of berry picking. She'd make fruit for winter for that.
Yeah, we used to pick a lot of berries too, yeah. Raspberries, cranberries.
Saskatoon. We'd go and take a trip and go pick blueberries. Take the truck. Dad would take us out to
Kettle Hills, that country.
Yeah, we'd go make a day of it, make sandwiches and make a day of it and go picking berries.
Is that something you guys still do? Is go out and pick berries?
We did that one year to, where did we go with Louis and Lorraine?
Oh, that was Garland, up there, east of Garland, there
yeah,
someplace.
We went up there. We haven't done it for a long time, but yeah.
We're too busy on the farm nowadays. We work for a farmer, both of us,
Yeah.
and that keeps us going.
Yeah.
We don't have time for anything else.
Yeah. Actually, I won't even be making pickles this year because I'm working when they're doing harvest. Harvest time is the time you harvest your garden also. And now I'm working till they're finished combining, so like 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, so no pickling for me this year. Last year was pretty rough. Yeah, too much work. It was really
I work
crazy.
on the farm now too, but I still miss the bush. I got in my mind all the time in that bush. I used to be a tree feller in the bush. I used to go like northern Manitoba and northern Alberta, all over up there and stay in bush camps. I really love that, but I still miss it.
Both mentioned the language Michif. So do you both speak it?
I speak it. I understand everything, but there's a lot of words I can't bring out, pronounce them. But I can say a lot of different words, but I can't really speak it to good people like that.
Yeah, me too. I understand quite a bit because Mom especially would speak the Chef more at home. My dad didn't speak too much, but yeah, she'd speak and we'd answer her in English. So I understand more than I can speak, but with Gail helping us here, it's going to be good, I think. I've been helping Heather Souther trying to revive it also. So I'm with her and doing different little projects with her and trying to get the even like the app going and the dictionary, speaking dictionary, stuff like that. I've been working with her, so it's been helping me a lot. And there were some recordings that she got from the States, Belcourt. And a lot of them were even our relatives that were on those recordings, which was kind of neat, you know. And I was listening to them and helping her with those recordings, and just listening to the Michif being spoken. You can, oh yeah, I remember those words. Yeah, oh, I forgot about those ones, you know. So that helped me to regain my knowledge on it.
When I was a kid, my parents used to speak Michif to their brothers or sisters. My uncles used to come visit and stuff. They'd speak Michif to them or back and forth. But when they spoke to us, it was always in English. Because I think when my dad started, he didn't go to school, but he started going to school and he couldn't speak English at all. And I guess he was quite embarrassed about that. And he didn't want us to feel that way, so they talked to us in English instead. But when they talked to his brothers or his sisters, it was all in Michif. That's the way I picked up the language, just by listening to them talk. Eh?
I know, my older sister said that she couldn't speak English when she went to school too, so I guess they stopped speaking too much Michif.
Yeah, my dad didn't go to school, but he knew how to speak 5 different languages. He knew Ukrainian, he knew French, Michif, Suru, and what's the other one? There was 5 that he knew.
English.
English, yeah. Yeah.
What did your dad do for work?
Lots of boozing. Yeah, he was a trapper also, but he was a hunter. He loved hunting. And he worked for farmers in summertime, different things. One day, him and his brother, with a team of horses, made 7 cents and a half a day. They took a job from a farmer years ago with the horses pulling trees down. I guess they'd dig around this tree, tie a chain to it and pull it over, and they were getting 7 cents a tree. And then one day it took them all morning, right till noon. From the time they started till noon, it took them all morning to knock that one tree down. So they made 7 cents with a team of horses and 2 guys. But that must have been in the 30s, so it was understandable, I guess. Her mother seen a big change in this world. She walked behind the chuck wagon coming from the States. She was just a little girl, I guess, at that time. She walked behind the chuck wagon, the wagon going. Then before she died, she flew all over America with her oldest daughter in the big jets just to see the country.
That's a big difference, yeah.
Yeah, from walking behind the chuck wagon and flying way up there in the big jet is a big change in her world.
That would be quite the
quite
the change.
Yeah. Just think about it, that's almost 100 years in between them two things. Because she was quite old when she was in the States.
99
when she died.
When she died, yeah. But I don't know how old she was when she was walking.
Oh, she was just a young girl, I heard,
Yeah.
Well, she did.
She did.
Your dad was somewhere in Saskatchewan by that time, I think.
After my dad?
Yeah.
Actually, they met out here somewhere in Boggy Creek, I think.
They know each other when they're living about 20 miles apart. They met in Manitoba here.
When she was walking behind that chuck wagon, she didn't even know anything about her dad yet.
No.
So she was just a young girl. They moved to Manitoba here somewhere and grew up and kind of met, and that's where life started again.
What did they teach you in school about Métis people?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
No. Nothing at all. Didn't even know it was Métis back then. So nothing in the books, nothing.
Well, we knew that we were different than the white people, like the English kids and us. We used to play in separate groups in the schoolyard at noon or recess time. And they started calling us names one time. And I guess a few more of us were a little tougher than them. They end up in the barn in the loft, and that's where we kept them with snowballs and frozen horse shit. They stick their head out where they got it. Oh, I did. But we got called in by the teachers for that. But like we knew the difference between them guys and us. They knew the difference too. Eh? And at one time they started calling names. I guess we couldn't take it, so we gave them what we thought of it.
And in our school, I don't think there was anything like that. Like I went to school in Boggy Creek. I think we were all Métis.
Well, maybe that's why there was very few whites at your school.
Yeah, so.
But
we didn't know what we were. We were just all the same.
She went to the Grand Prairie in Boggy Creek, Grand Prairie School, and I went to the Walker School. I don't know if you ever heard of them names or not, but you had to cross a valley to get there from our place anyway. There's quite a valley, all right? We call that the Boggy Creek.
I had to walk 3.5 miles to school, on gravel road. And if you wanted to take a shortcut, through the bush, and it'd be 2.5 miles. But winter, summer, rain, snow.
I remember walking home from school one day. It was 61 below Fahrenheit. Cold.
No skidoo pants and no big
Had
boots.
long johns, but we did anyway.
Yeah. There's a lot of things happening for the youth, I think, and some elders. But for the elders, it's not good for us because you have to make a certain amount of money to do a lot of these things that they want you to do. And we make just a little bit more than what we can get these programs. Can't, I think.
Yeah, a big difference for me. Like I never done much in my life except for trap hunt or work in the bush. But when I was younger, I couldn't just go trapping, hunting because I didn't have my rights. At least I had them, but I didn't know, or nobody knew that I had my rights. I used to kind of hide from the game wardens and stuff, do it on a sneak. Now I can go in front of them and show them my rifle and everything, and it doesn't bother me, and they can't do a damn thing about it.
Just gotta show them your card.
So that part is a big difference, for me.
When did you start making yourself?
It must have been
Not that long ago, actually.
20, 25 years maybe. My cousin Yvette Bouvier, which is very intelligent, she had a workshop in San Clara and showed us how to make them. And her husband made the looms to make them on. So, from then on, I just started making them off and on. Whoever wanted one, they seen mine, they wanted one, so I'd make them one. And then Richard and I guess you know him, he seen me with a sash, and he asked if I could make him hat bands. So I've been making all his hat bands for him. He's been ordering some sashes and stuff, little small sashes. So he showed them to the president. It was last fall, maybe sometimes. I just happened to be sitting down from him at a regional meeting here in Dauphin, and Richard showed him what he just bought from me, right? So he turned around and asked, "Who was that?" He said, "Connie." And so he turned around and he says, "I'll buy all your stuff from you. You just make them and I'll buy them." He says, so that was good. Yeah. Well, I just finished some, so they kind of take a while to make, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I just, there was 39 sashes, and then I made some small ones for youths also, and then just like these scarf ones I make just so you can wear them all the time and not an actual sash. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Well, it used to take me a long time. Now it takes me about 4 hours. Well, I got some nice shiny stuff now. I was, incorporating some shiny stuff to them. Yeah. Yeah. This here is the flag. So as you can see, it represents the flag.
I guess there's a big difference in the sashes nowadays compared to Gabriel Dumont's days. At that time, it was maybe tied to a horse or something and use it to lead them.
Yeah, we used all kinds of things. Eh?
Yeah, it was used as a rope also, not just a sash. Now it's more for decoration. Yeah. Because we didn't go broadcasting that we were Métis.
I didn't know I was, so.
Till we met the young white kids at school.
Proud to be Métis. I didn't know I wasn't. I didn't know I was a Métis, so.
Proud to say so now.
Yeah, culture is good. I like all the culture stuff. I do my sash making myself, but I give them all. They all have sashes. Yeah. My young son in Edmonton has the Métis flag tattooed on him. So, and I send him a sash and a sweatshirt. I do cricket stuff. You do that cricket machine where you put it on T-shirts like that. Mm-hmm. So I got a proud Métis on him, and he wears it proudly. Yeah.
Yeah, my granddaughter in Winnipeg is proud to put some Métis stuff on. Yeah. Like her dad is Treaty, and her mom's my daughter. So, mm-hmm. But she's very proud to put on some Métis stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When we went to that Métis gathering, we were invited to a Métis gathering in Selkirk, and Gordon got a sweatshirt, a hoodie.
A hoodie.
It said gathering, Métis gathering, and so he gave it to her, and she was pretty proud wearing it.
Oh, yeah. She had it on all the time after.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, language is a big thing right now. Yeah. We get more people speaking Michif. More people joining the Métis Federation, I think. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there lots of youth interest in the Roblin and San Clara area?
It's more than I expected. There's not an awful lot of them. Like, there wouldn't even be 50%. Eh?
No.
But there is a few of them showing up.
For sure.
And that's interesting, you know. If they are, maybe they get to tell some of their friends that might get to come too after and whatever.
And we've only had about like 3-4 sessions.
Yeah,
so
that's all we had
maybe,
so far. And it's,
they'll start hearing more and more show up. Better way to engage our youth in the Métis community would be
just keep having meetings.
workshops. And
Workshops,
venture out into the woods and get the medicines that are needed to make medicines, all the types of vegetation out there for medicines. To get out in the country, say, and show them all the...
To be noticed?
Yeah, well, how to do stuff, like to go pick berries and how to go and search for the right, for medicines and stuff. To go check all this stuff out and teach them all that stuff would be good.
What are some words of wisdom you can leave for Métis today?
What is what?
Listen to your elders.
Yeah.
Just grab all the knowledge you can get, really, from your elders. They've been through a lot.